Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about things that I wish someone had told me before I started college. Granted, some of these things I did hear before I started college, but I didn't think that they were serious. I didn't think that they applied to me. I didn't think that I needed to do them, and I'm here to tell you that you should do them and that you should listen to this advice, because these things would have been so much more helpful to me when I started university and might have made my previous semester quite a bit better. I know my last video was a video about my first semester experience at university, and then so today I'm going to be making a video of some things that I wish I would have known that could have made that experience a little bit better, so maybe you guys can all have a better experience. But yeah, without further ado, I think we should just get right on into the video. First things first, you guys hear this in every college video. If you're like me and you binge college videos, you have heard this before, but I didn't believe it because I thought that I was the exception. No, listen to this advice. Don't do what I did, and don't buy the textbook. I'm telling you, don't buy the textbook until after you start class. I was so paranoid that I was gonna need the textbook on day one. My teachers didn't really help with that. They were telling me that you need this textbook right now, first day one. And so of course I bought it. But then I literally never used any of my textbooks. I did use a few of them, which is why I'm not saying you shouldn't buy them at all. You should just buy them after your class already starts, because you're not gonna need them on the first day. Professors say you're gonna need them on the first day. You don't need them on the first day, and if they do assign a reading or whatever, you can get the textbook and just read it a few days later. It's not a big deal, because I bought 5 textbooks this semester and used 2 of them. One of them I didn't even open. So I'm telling you, this is something that college kids tell you and they're actually serious about. Don't buy the textbook. They're just so incredibly expensive, and it's just such a waste of money, I feel like. Especially because we have so many online resources these days, on YouTube or just on the internet if you need extra practice. Unless the textbook is absolutely mandatory and you realize that upon starting the class, or if you really need extra help, don't buy the textbook. Usually they're just super long-winded and they explain things super poorly, and the practice problems usually aren't even that good, so you're better off searching the internet for them. Next things, you're gonna need to learn different time management skills. I considered myself pretty good at time management in high school. I had a job, extracurriculars, I was in clubs, I had my schoolwork. I thought that I was pretty good at this whole time management thing. But when you're in college or university, it's a totally different thing, because you're not going to school from 8 till 3 and then you're going to work from 4 till 9 or whatever. You have a totally different schedule, and most of the time you have maybe 2 to 3 classes per day, and they'll be at super weird times. So I know for me, my time management skills really went out the window when I started college, because some days I wouldn't have class until 2 p.m. and then I wouldn't want to do anything that day until 2 p.m. and your schedule's just super off. You don't have the same schedule every day. Some days you'll start at 8 a.m. some days you'll start at 4 p.m. You have the most random schedule, and you're gonna need to learn time management. I did not have that my first semester, so you're gonna have to change and adjust your time management skills. Even if you already have them, and even if you think that you're great at time management, you are gonna have to adjust the way that you approach managing your time, and getting a planner is a great way to do that. And then also just making a really detailed schedule as well, having the same wake up time for every day. So regardless if you have class at 8 a.m. or if you have class at 3 p.m., you should wake up and go to bed at the same time. That's my biggest recommendation. That's probably the best way that you can keep a schedule and be the most efficient and productive. The next thing that I wish I knew is, if you have an open book test, study for it like it's a closed book test. I am telling you guys, I know a lot of us have open book tests right now because we are in online school, many of us are, and then even in normal college, I know sometimes a lot of people do have open note tests, not always, but sometimes. Study for these like they are closed book. I literally cannot stress this enough. If you just study for them like they're closed book. I had a lot of open book final exams this semester, and I did not study for them like they're closed book, because I was it's open book, I'll study, but I'm not going to memorize anything. I got my notes, it's fine. No, The notes should just be there as a backup plan for if you don't know something, because most of the times these exams are timed super strictly, so you don't have a lot of time, you don't have a lot of extra time, you can't be looking up every question, and if you don't know where everything is in your notes, the fact that it's an open note exam is going to be completely useless. So I know if you're given the opportunity to do something for open book, don't trust it, don't fall for it, and study for it like it's closed book. I promise it's just gonna change everything. Next, we are going to talk about classes. So you have a lot of freedom with your classes in college, which is a good thing. So for example, for my degree, I just had to take two extra science, how many did I need? 2 extra science courses every semester. So I basically got to pick whatever those science classes were, which is really fun, but I thought, you know what? I'm gonna take physics. Do I need physics? No, but it'll fill the science credit, and you know, physics is not that hard. I took it in high school. I'm telling you guys, that was the dumbest thing I ever did. Biggest regret. Biggest mistake. Don't take hard classes that you don't have to take, because trust me, there is easier ways to fulfill your science credit. For example, next semester instead of physics, I'm doing environmental science, which I'm not saying is easy, but it is going to be easier because it doesn't have a lab associated with it. So if you have the opportunity to pick classes, first of all, never pick a course with a lab for your extra class, because those are just terrible and take up so much time. And don't do a hard class just because you can. The college or university you're attending is going to make you take a lot of hard classes during your time there. Don't take any that you don't have to take. You'll just be stressed out. It'll not be good for your GPA most likely, and there's absolutely no reason to torture yourself. So don't do what I did. Don't take the hard classes just because you can. Take the easiest classes possible. Go on Rate My Professor, look up professors, and also on Rate My Professor you can see like how difficult the course is as well that they teach. So look that up. Look how difficult the course is. Look up the amount of people that would take it again, which is also on Rate My Professor. Just trust me on this one, guys. Speaking on that, also don't take 8 a.m. classes just because you can. Don't think that, oh my gosh, because I started school at 8 a.m. in high school every day, it's gonna be fine. No, trust me. In college or university, you're gonna be staying up quite a bit later, studying, hanging out with friends. I mean, warranted that there's like not a pandemic like there is right now. You don't want to wake up at 7 a.m. to go to class. Trust me, you will hate yourself and you will skip that class a lot. So just don't do this to yourself. Do not have a class at 8 a.m. unless you absolutely have to. I know that sometimes, there's no other option and you have to take that 8 a.m. But just please, 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 please try not to take a class that early if you can avoid it. I was kind of speaking on this one earlier, but this one is again about labs. I wish somebody had told me how much time out of your days labs take up. So I'm just going to give you guys a brief idea. Like, I go to UBC, so this is just how labs work over there. It could be different depending on your university, but either way, they're a lot of work. So for every single lab I had, for example, last semester I had 2. I had one for chemistry and one for physics. It's 3 hours a week per lab of like class time. So you have to go sit in your lab from like 3 till 6 p.m. or whatever and just like listen to your TA talk, go over the lab. Like, I was online this semester, so we didn't actually get to conduct an experiment, but normally this was the time where you would actually conduct the experiment yourself. And so that's a lot of time. And then the lab reports probably take about 3 hours each a week as well. And then plus you have pre-labs too. So you're looking at about 6 or 7 hours a week extra per lab that you have. They are a lot of work. So if you can avoid taking a lab, please avoid taking a lab. I promise you, they are so incredibly difficult, which is why I was telling you guys, if you have an option between classes, pick the one that doesn't have a lab, because these things are terrible. And if you have to have a lab, because I know oftentimes you do, this is just that so that you know what it is like to have a lab, because I was totally blindsided by this. I did not think it was going to be this much work, but they are, so it's always better to be prepared. I feel so much more prepared for my next semester ones knowing this. So I really wish that this is something that someone had told me before I started. Alright, so that's going to be all for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it and some of these tips helped you out a little bit. I know going to college or university can be super overwhelming, so I hope that maybe this gave you guys some advice or things that you can know from somebody who's already started. I wish you guys all the best of luck and a Merry Christmas. Christmas is in a few days, so that's super exciting. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Bye!